So a few things. While I was not updating, I did start An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson. I picked this up because one of the booktubers that I have followed for, God, a decade now, read it, she liked it, and she said that there was like a questionable tattooed professor, Dark Academia. I have never read Dark Academia. It just has never been my thing, like, at all. I struggled to connect with the main characters, but I figured it was time to start, and since she highly recommended this, there's a questionable tattooed professor, I'm like, let's give it a shot. I'll probably try Babel next, because I've heard really good things about it, to see if it's up my alley. In An Academy of Liars, we follow Lennon, whose life is absolutely falling apart from the onset. We meet her as she has decided that she's taking steps because she no longer wants to be around. And during this episode, she gets a mysterious call in some abandoned phone booth that she has been accepted to Drayton College. Now, obviously questionable as hell. But we got nothing left to lose. Let's get to Drayton College. Once we get there, Lennon goes through a series of really disquieting exams before she finds out she's admitted, due to the fact that she apparently has very strong powers of persuasion. The entire premise of the academy and this book and the universe is to train skilled young minds to harness their ability to exact their will, what they're calling persuasion, upon other things. It could be other people, other circumstances, and even matter itself. That is probably why I'm sticking with this book. I love the study of the human will and the refinement of your ability to exact your will upon others or other matters. I personally don't care about really controlling other people. I care about the analysis that is done, even if it is metaphysical, about the power of the human will, which is fascinating to me. Of course, there is this dreamy professor with a Brooklyn accent. His name is Dante, and tattooed all over the place, drives Lennon up a wall, scares the heck out of her, but she finds herself drawn to him. I might just be a fuddy-duddy, and probably why I'm not super enamored with Dante. I guess I've also read a lot of, like, you know, bad boy, brooding types, and he's kind of just like a morose character, and I haven't really seen a whole lot of their connection other than this broken girl being accepted by the campus hot professor, and that might be why she's fixated on him. I don't know. I just don't buy into the Lennon being enamored. But we get a lot of details that anytime Dante looks at her or talks to her, you know, she's like, ooh, excited and anxious, and she gets like really scared and intimidated, but fascinated. So I'm just a crusty person. I think that I don't buy into their romance. Glad she found someone that cares about her. I'm assuming that he doesn't turn out to really screw her up, unlike her previous relationships. I'm sticking with this book simply because of what it's talking about, the exertion of human will and the means to harness your own will. So a little repetitive, but that's really what's grabbing me right now. I'm on chapter 12, about page 100. So we know her class, we know her curriculum, know her roommates. We're getting a bit of the cast. They're all pretty average university type of characters, older characters, younger characters. Thankfully, there's a huge diversity and everybody has a really different background of how they like applied for the college and where they were scouted from. I'm probably not giving this book the credit that it's due. It's probably really freaking good. This is my first Dark Academia. So I'm on page 100 and I'll finish it. I'm doing the audiobook. Dante has like a Brooklyn accent. I don't know why. I don't think that's sexy. I think in another world I might have. I think what I want of Dante is this like less jerk and more super disciplined, controlled, high standards, exacting sort of personality. I don't really think being a jerk is attractive. I think it's probably a reflection of low level of self-control, or I'm just projecting. I don't know. So I think that's why Dante's not hitting for me, because he tends to lean towards sort of jerk-ish. And he's smug, which I usually like a smug character in a questionable way. I don't know. The reason I'm fixated on Dante is because he's the reason that I picked this up. I'm like, oh, there's a questionable hot professor with tattoos. What can possibly go wrong? That sounds like my cup of tea. And I'm just here like, really? Really? Like that's all we got? I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping he turns into a much cooler character that I'm like enthralled with him, but we'll see. Otherwise, the exploration of the harnessing of your human will is pretty awesome. Okay, I do have an update on An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson. I didn't finish this one. I couldn't finish it. I found the character a little insufferable, the main character. I didn't believe her motivation. I didn't believe the personality switches. I didn't appreciate the personality switches. I understand the demographic and I understand who the audience is and the age range. I'm probably way too old to be in this age range, you would hope. So I just can't handle it. I don't like her voice, like the character. I think she's really immature. I think it's really strange the way that she's carrying herself through the book. All of a sudden, she's like power hungry, but she hasn't really done anything thus far to make me believe she's power hungry. Apparently, she's like the worst in the class. Doesn't really smell like power hungry person to me. If you're trying to accumulate power, you're out to kind of like get, like to be better, to be the strongest, to be the best. You're not scraping by at the bottom of the barrel, right? So I don't really get that. I also don't understand her love interest. I'm not sure why she's so obsessed with Dante. Dante seems kind of smug in just kind of a blah way. He also seems kind of, I think he's just broody, but with nothing to back it up that I can see right now. Like, I only know that Dante is a badass because of what everyone else is saying. I haven't seen it in his behavior. I also don't exactly appreciate the really forced romantic interest. I don't believe that they're actually romantically interested in each other. So this book just didn't do it for me. I also am not typically a reader of YA, so I'm definitely not the audience for this. I also read some of the reviews because I'm like, is it a me problem? Which it sometimes is. No, the character was a little obnoxious to some people, and it just gets really weird with like boundaries that are not respected, which is never okay in my book, not to respect boundaries. So this is just gonna be DNF, not my thing. I might try to pick up Dark Academia again at a later time. Maybe not. For sure, we'll pick up dark fantasy, adult dark fantasy, and hopefully get a little better on that. I don't know. I might also just read sci-fi horror. I'm not sure. But this didn't do it. If you liked it, tell me why you liked it, because I want to know why other people like it. So it's not for me, but I'm also an old fuddy-duddy person, as you will come to see with the books that I regularly read. This was really an anomaly. So give it a shot. Not really my thing. Not bad. Catch you next time. Bye.